Welcome back. So today we are blessed to have a guest with us today, Miss April Mullenaux from RE/MAX Realty Consultants. April's been in the business. I'll kind of let her give her bio and all in just a minute, but has been in a business for a good amount of time and has done other things in life. But today you might want to mark this and save this podcast because today you're probably going to get little tidbits going to help you in your business tactically, more so than a lot of the other things we talk about. Because a lot of stuff we talk about is business mindset and things of that nature. And we will hit on some of that stuff today, but today there's going to be some tactical awesomeness that you're going to be able to pull out of this podcast. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Miss April Mullenaux from RE/MAX Realty Consultants. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So do us a favor, give us a little, 20 seconds, 45 seconds, whatever, of who you are, how you got here, how you got in real estate, what you did prior to real estate, and just, who you are as a person.
Okay, yeah. So my name is April Mullenaux. I am from Archdale, North Carolina. Prior to being in real estate, I was a registered dental hygienist. Did that for many years and really enjoyed it and loved my patients. And one day I just woke up and decided that I was kind of bored, I guess. I either had the choice to go back to school and be a dentist or maybe pursue another career. The type of person that I'm very outgoing. I love people. And sitting in a room every day with just one-on-one patient interaction was great, but I really wanted more than that. So that is kind of how I started my real estate career.
Awesome. So, and from my understanding, you work with both buyers and sellers.
I do.
And from conversations that we have, you gravitate a lot towards the home seller. That's a preference of yours. Am I right on that?
You are correct.
Fantastic. So do me a favor, walk us through why your personality has made you gravitate and kind of the preferential being working with someone trying to sell their house.
So I really enjoy working with the sellers for the reason that most people do, because it is, the 3 L's, the listings, leads, and the leverage. So I like to travel. If you follow me and know anything about me, I'm constantly on the go. And so for me, it's much easier to manage expectations and work with sellers because I can do this from anywhere in the world, anywhere in the United States, versus buyers and carting them and running them around.
Okay, so unpack that for a little bit. So the sellers are attractive, a little bit more so attractive to you because of your ability to manage and really provide top-level service without having to be in the geographic vicinity 24/7. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So take a step back. You mentioned something, and a lot of this, is going to key in with a lot of our audience. You like to travel.
I love to travel.
Fantastic. So, so talk to us a little bit about how that your love of travel got you, focused in on how you're building your business. So talk to us about where you go, where you like to go, what's your favorite place to go.
Oh, goodness. This is going to turn into a travel podcast.
Fantastic. It goes where it goes.
So anywhere, honestly, there's not a place that you could say, let's go here, and I would say no. I would say yes to just about anything and a half. So when an opportunity comes my way and a friend asks, and they're like, hey, April, do you want to go here or there, or Japan, and I say yes. So that's kind of what I do. The time difference sometimes is challenging. So in a couple of weeks, I'm going to the Netherlands, and so it'll be about, I think it's a 5-hour time difference. And so yes, I'm going to be working up at some crazy hours, sending off some crazy emails. And
yeah.
So yeah.
So your goal is to have a passport full of stamps, correct?
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Yes.
You and me both. So it's important for us and everybody to our whys are huge. Why we do what we do. Why we're focusing in on the type of business that we focus in on. And for you, listings allows you to do the things that make you happy.
Absolutely, yes.
And so let's kind of pull back and talk about how you're able to run your business, and let's pull out some nuggets of the things that you do to provide the exceptional service that your clients grown to know, while being able to still do the things that you love to do, which are the travel. So let's kind of walk this. We had a class, just so everybody knows, we had an event in January, and it was with April, and she was basically going through all of her steps in rocking it out with listings. And so walk us through what that process looks like to you, from intake of a new client to how you structure everything, what leverage points you do, and we'll kind of unpack some of those.
Okay. So my goal is to only ever go to a property one time. That is the absolute end-all be-all goal. I want to go to the property and I'll make thousands of dollars for a couple-hour appointment. Now, we all know that it extends past that. Absolutely. You're going to be on the phone with them. You're going to be emailing them. You're going to be talking to your client. But the goal is to not go back and forth to the property. So all in all, I really try to set expectations with my seller that, hey, I will not be showing your property. Mm-hmm. I do not do dual agency and practice that. I explain that thoroughly to them, what that means and why I won't be showing the property, because I do not want to be the buyer's agent and the seller's agent. And I explain all that, and make sure that they're good with that. And 10 times out of 10, they are good with it.
Right.
So the great news is that, because, as agents, we often hear, my agent never showed the house. I'm sure you've heard that, right?
I've heard it 100 times. Yep.
So I want them to know I'm not going to be showing your house. So that first couple hour of appointment is setting the expectations. It is walking through the property, it is doing a needs analysis. It is going over their utility information, working with real estate agents, explaining them all the things. And then at the end of the appointment, once we go over pricing and we start to sign everything, they sign a letter that's called a commitment to sell with me. I do not go through the, I don't even know. How many pages is the listing agreement? I should know. It's like 6 or 7?
It's a lot, yeah.
Something like that now. And it constantly changes. And the reason that I don't know how many pages it is because all I do is review it. I don't actually fill it out. And so talking about the leverage piece, what I do and really love. So even obviously before I came to RE/MAX Realty Consultants, I had a listing manager. And since coming here, I was able to kind of part ways with that, and I was able to leverage agent services here at RE/MAX Realty Consultants, and they do all of my listing paperwork for me. So as soon as I leave the appointment, I scan the commitment to sell over to agent services, and they take it from there, and they do every single paperwork piece. They put it in the MLS, they order the photos, they order the measurements, they run the sign and lock box, they do it all. And I don't go back to the said property.
Yeah, fantastic. So you're able to operate your listing business super efficiently, super effectively. But before you even get to that point of having that one-on-one conversation at the sellers, 9 times out of 10, you've already been sold before you got there, right?
Generally, yes.
Generally. So, I mean, they've when someone picks up the phone and they're calling to talk to you, or it's a referral that's been given to you, would you say, what are the chances of that person that has done a little bit of investigation, a little online digging to who they're going to be speaking with?
Yeah, I mean, you hope that they have, but sometimes maybe I hope that they haven't. I don't know, maybe they think I just play a lot and travel. I need them to know that I do actually work. So yeah, one of the tricks that I do too, I'm not sure that I've shared this, and on the phone sometimes I go ahead and tell people, like, have a key ready for me. And so once they have that spare key ready and they have it laid out on the counter, their brain has already registered that they're going to give me that key.
Yep.
And before I leave the house, I ask them for that key, and I either take it with me and pass it off for you guys to put the lockbox on, or I go ahead and put the lockbox on their door.
Sure. People
don't want the pain of having to go back on their word and take it back. So
absolutely. When you meet with a client and you're sitting there having a detailed conversation with them, only the goal of going to a house one time and one time only to get it sold is a really lofty goal. And so to do that, most agents aren't prepared and have all of their ducks in a row to be able to execute on that. What do you have in place that has allowed you to be able to execute on that? Do you have this, this laundry list of a checklist that you're going to get knocked out while you're there? What does that look like?
So I want to back up. The first thing that you said is that's a lofty goal. It's the only goal, Mark. And with that, I have a checklist. I know my processes. I know what I start with. And then I have a huge handoff checklist. It's 2 pages, then there's lots of questions on there. And we just follow the process. And, without fail, unless I'm scatterbrained, generally, like maybe here and there I'll forget the lockbox. But if I forget the lockbox, I just give it to Josh.
Yeah.
Usually they'll pick up my slack, which is really great. If I forgot to check this or check that, when they come back and they order the measurements or this or that, they can kind of maybe even fix what I didn't do or pick up what I didn't, I guess.
Sure.
Yep.
As you come back, and you're preparing to hand off everything to those that are assisting you to get it to, from your meeting to executed and in marketing. What are the crucial steps that have to happen from that point to get the marketing that folks are grown to know from you, that they know that their property is going to be exposed to the nth degree, which it is, and they're getting, compared to a lot of other agents, getting much higher dollar versus list price compared to a lot of other people. What are you doing? What's that secret sauce in there from the time that you leave them to it going active?
I think communication and putting people in the right seats to get you to the right place. And so people who like, know, and trust you are going to use you. Mm-hmm. And usually my business is repeat and referral. So those people know that I'm going to take care of them. And if they follow me on social media, they know that I'm going to market their property. They know that I'm going to have it up in Instagram immediately. Going to be marketing coming soon. I always market coming soon on every single property, even if it's a day or two. Because it's just super important. Even if we get those couple of extra days of marketing, it shows that I'm willing to put in the extra effort and the extra work. And so, I set the expectation that, hey, someone will be reaching out to you within 24 to 48 hours. And we do just that. So we do not fail on what we promise. And we like to, the quote that I really like is, we like to under promise and over deliver. Mm-hmm. So.
And I think, watching you over the years, one of the things that, we've hit on, and we talk about it a lot on our podcast, getting your systems in place and providing those systems so that, it really is, it's tried and true, and it works. And at the end of the day, if you execute on your system, the feeling that the consumer gets, that the seller gets, is a feeling of A, I was working with a professional. B, everything went, not everything goes perfectly, but everything went well. And it was a pleasant experience. And then when things may gotten tough, I knew that somebody was there and had my back along the way. And that key's on the communication. That key's on all the things that you do up front, all the things that are being done during the listings, which allows them to have that feeling of professional advice, professional services along the way. And you do that bar none every time and knock that out of a park. And those are crucial things. However, one thing that you do magnificently is marketing yourself and marketing your business. So our audience primarily is real estate agents, business owners, things of that nature. We have a lot of people that watch us that aren't in real estate, but they're business owners, just because of just the content that we have that we put out there. So walk us through what marketing yourself looks like before, during, after, in the process.
So there's, I guess, a lot of things to marketing yourself. Over the years, through social media, I try to really just be authentically me. Mm-hmm. I like to post pictures of food and travel, and then also real estate. People don't want to just see the crazy real estate posts all day, closed, sold, all of this. They want to get to know you. They want to know who you are. They want to be able to relate to you. They want to be able to ask questions, post my dogs, all of that fun stuff, what I read, those different kinds of things. So, and then also on social media, I really try to just stay out of the politics. I stay out of my opinion. No one really cares about your opinion. You know what those are like.
Yep. Politics and religion, stay out of it.
I don't do that. And not only do I not post it on my personal page, but I don't comment on others' pages.
Sure.
Because you don't know who they follow or who your next client might be and who's watching. So
Right.
I think that's super important.
Yeah. People love to see what Frank has gotten into, what he's destroyed. Frank is her dog, just so you guys know. It's a awesome French bulldog. But yeah, those are the personal things that humanize us. You know,
Sure.
as systemized as you are, and as people go through that process, they like that, but they also like to know that you're human, and that
Right.
and that you know you're fallible, you're quirky, you're interesting. Those are important things that are going to attach you to somebody, and it's going to gravitate them to you.
Right.
So our audience is a lot of real estate agents. So walk us through maybe some out of the box. If you had to point it, okay, this marketing thing that I did over the past 3 or 4 years was bottom dollar the best thing I've ever done. What does that look like?
Ooh, I don't
Put
know.
you on the spot.
I don't know that I have an answer for that. I do my Christmas minis every year for my past clients, and everyone knows I'm obsessed with Christmas, and I put up multiple Christmas trees, and I go all out and I decorate everything, and so I really kind of gear my business towards who I am, and I think that pictures are super important, and they're the memories that you have at that time, and so I really like to give that back to my clients every year. It's a time of year where 'tis a season to give, and moreover, it's a tight time for everybody, buying gifts, and people are traveling and this and that. So to be able to kind of take that financial burden off my clients and say, hey, here's your Christmas pictures, I really love that. And then I do them at my home. So I'm inviting my clients into my personal space, into my home. We do it out back on the acreage that I have every year. And so it just kind of forms that bond and that connection, because I really do feel like my past clients are like my family. So it's really great to be able to see them come out year after year. And then also, to see their family grow, because I open it to anybody that's a past client. Even if you get them every year, you get them again, so long as you're my client. And I absolutely love it.
I think that is spot on, and that is right up the wheelhouse of the highest ROI in this business. And the highest ROI in this business is making sure you're in flow with your past and repeat business and executing on that at a high level, because you can spend tens and hundreds of $1,000s marketing to people that you don't know, or you could spend a few $1,000s making sure that the people that do know you, that know that you still exist and know that you're still in this business and that you really value them and their relationship. It's such a big, important piece. Before we head out, April, do me a favor. As you're looking towards this year, and looking towards 2023, with all the distractions going on in the world and all the different things that are uncontrollable to us, what's the one thing that you would suggest to our audience base, being other real estate agents around the country, if they're not doing that they should do at a very, very high level, and start working on?
Truly, I think Instagram stories are really important. I really do.
Yeah.
Staying top of mind, making sure people know that you are a realtor, that you sell real estate. If you don't sell a lot of real estate, that's okay. You can and you will sell a lot of real estate, but if people don't know you're a realtor, then they can't come to you. So just really making sure that if you're not closing anything and you don't have any homes to post, go show homes and post them on your Instagram stories. Do the agent previews. Get out there and start putting in the work. Start posting pictures and videos of the pop buys that you make or the cards that you're going to send out or any of that kind of stuff, you would be amazed at the people that reply to my stories and they're like, oh, I want one or I want that. And so I add them to my database. I'm like, what's your address? So that is one of the quickest and easiest ways to truly lead generate rather than picking up the phone and calling people. If you know me, I love to talk, but I absolutely hate calling people. I don't like cold calling or worm calls or whatever you want to call them. So I think the easiest, quickest thing is we're on Instagram hours a day.
I agree wholeheartedly. That is such a big piece to even us in this podcast. While it's a long form, being that it's 20, 25 minutes usually are the episodes. We take this content and we cut it up into small bite-sized pieces, and we utilize Instagram Reels, Instagram Stories, and majority of the interactions that we get are in that medium. No question, hands down, are there. And then they go back and they find the other stuff elsewhere in YouTube or Spotify or wherever, and they listen to it. But they're 9 times out of 10 consuming it in that short form format via stories and reels.
Sure.
Guys, it's important for you to take a couple of things out of this. 1, be authentic. 2, get your systems in line. And 3, make sure the world knows that you're in business. Those are the 3 things that April is knocking out of the park. Has her systems lined up. Her clients know what to expect, and they're going to get the same thing every time because her systems are so on point. That's a quality that eludes a lot of real estate agents. A lot of real estate agents are literally making decisions by the seat of their pants versus had already made the decision before they got there. Those are some 3 key things that I'd take away from today's session. April, thank you so very much for joining us. Any parting words before we leave out?
No, that's it. Thanks, Mark.
Awesome. Thank you.